I beat the odds, 71, almost 72.
A Vietnam War veteran winning the fight against COVID-19, but he says he wouldn't be telling his story if it wasn't for the care that he received at a freestanding emergency room. Well, Channel 5's Monica de Anda is live outside that facility where the fight for his life began. Monica?
Oscar, just a few weeks ago, 71-year-old Edwin Howell was here inside of Exceptional Emergency Center in Harlingen after his COVID-19 symptoms became too much to bear. Now, freestanding ERs like this one aren't meant for long-term patient care, but since hospitals were at capacity at the time, the ER didn't have a choice. Military service runs in Edwin Howell's family.
My father was a career Navy man. I was Marine Corps. My brother was career Army.
Howell was a corporal for the Marines, working as a radio operator in Vietnam for 3 years. His memories of that time still vivid.
Hot and wet, very sweaty, and very scary.
During his tour, Howell battled malaria and typhus, but he says that didn't even come close to how COVID-19 made him feel.
COVID is sinister. You get it, and you don't realize you have it. You start feeling a little bit under the weather, and you start realizing I'm a little short of breath.
His wife rushed him into Exceptional Care Center in Harlingen after his COVID-19 symptoms became overwhelming.
He had acute respiratory disease. He had viral pneumonia. He was in respiratory failure. He was a patient that was probably on the verge of dying.
Bruce McVeigh is the chief operating officer for Exceptional Healthcare. He says they tried transferring Howell to a hospital, but they were at capacity.
We found ourselves in a really unique position of providing more definitive long-term care in order to save lives.
Howell says he spent 9 days at the ER. During that time, he saw others lose their life to COVID-19. He considers himself one of the lucky ones and credits those healthcare professionals for saving his life.
And taking care of a veteran, saving his life like that, for me, that was very extra special because of his past military service and the honor he did in Vietnam, and came back to me a hero. And being able to save Mr. Howell was just a great thing.
And while Howell's journey to recovery is underway, there's not a day that he doesn't feel gratitude towards everyone who cared for him.
They treated me like a king, very concerned. They did everything they could do, and with everything they had, to try and bring me back, and they did.
McVeigh also telling us that they continued to care for other patients on top of those that were dealing with COVID-19. Those patients who did have the virus were isolated and put in negative pressure rooms to prevent contamination to any other patient. Now, as for Howell, he is back home and slowly getting off of his oxygen machine. He says he now has the best nurse, his wife, taking care of him. In Harlingen, Monica de Anda, Channel 5 News at 6.